back. I hope you all have been enjoying your evening so far. As I understand it, we're moving into course number 3, which pairs with our Michigan straight bourbon. Um, this spirit means a lot to me. It's the reason Steve, my business partner, and I got into the distilling business. Bourbon has just been a passion of ours for a long time. We both enjoyed this spirit for longer than we've been legally allowed to do so. And as I previously mentioned, most of the bourbon in the world comes from the state of Kentucky, and rightfully so. They have a great water source to make it, they have a great aging climate for their barrels, and they have agriculture all around them. When we started testing this business model and this theory that we could make world class bourbon here in our home state, home city of Grand Rapids, um, we soon realized that we share some of those same advantages. We get to tap into one of the greatest freshwater sources in the world in Lake Michigan. We have agricultural all around us, even our neighboring states get to tap into this kind of water system that runs and creates a great agricultural system all around us. And then lastly, we have a relatively nice climate for aging barrels. Sometimes winter gets a little colder than we'd like, but we can crank up the heat in our warehouse back here, our rick house, and simulate some of the warming days that Kentucky might see still during the summer to create that expansion and contraction that you want inside and out of the wood of the barrel. So for our base, with bourbon has a few different rules. One is it has to be made in America. We got that. Number two is it has to be made with at least 51% corn. Ours is made with 70, so we're checked there. When it gets distilled, you can't distill it any higher than 160 proof. And then you have to proof it down to 125 proof or below, send it into a barrel, and let it begin its aging process. Once it ages a minimum of 2 years, you can then call it straight bourbon. And that's why ours is called Michigan Straight Bourbon. It's been the batch that you're sipping on now. It's been aging somewhere around the 2.5 year mark. Um, Again, I get it. It's not super old relative to Kentucky bourbon, and that's okay. I think we get a nice amount of flavor in there, and we also realize that it will continue to get better and more complex with more age to it. As it is right now, it's a nice, relatively simple, smooth sipping, sweet bourbon with a little bit of rye spice at the end. We use 15% rye grain in our mash bill, and that's just to complement the sweetness of the corn and give it a little bit of spiciness, a little bit of rusticness at the very end. So the finish is a little bit more complex. So just so you know, I know I'm tuning our production team's horn here a little bit today, but our 4-year-old bourbon, which is our bottle and bond, which we'll be releasing again here in November, took home a gold at the San Francisco Spirits Award competition, which was usually highly regarded as the hardest competition in the world for spirits. And to take home a gold with our 4-year-old bourbon was another accomplishment that is kind of validation on this journey that we're running down. And we're excited to continue to make more and more bourbon and release it to more folks. Right now, we've been we don't release much bourbon. As you know, we're only a 4-year-old company, and a lot of our whiskey we want to be aging beyond the 4-year mark. So a lot of these barrels you see behind me will be resting for a few more years before they ever reach anybody's glass. So that's a little bit about bourbon. I hope you enjoy ours. Again, I get some kind of sweet corn and vanilla up front. It finishes into a little bit of spice, a little bit of black peppercorn from the rye grain that we use, and it should go down pretty easy, pretty smooth sipper. We proof it down to 90 proof, and so if you're looking for a nice big Michigan hug or Kentucky hug, uh, keep on the lookout because we'll be releasing some barrel proof stuff as well, which is closer to that 120 proof mark, which can get a nice warm and toasty as it goes down the chest. So I hope you enjoy your evening. Thank you so much for including us. Thank you to the Riverdog team, and thank you to the chefs for putting on some amazing courses of food for everybody. And we hope to see you down at the tasting room. Our tasting room is at 700 Ottawa, just close to downtown Grand Rapids. We're open 6 days a week. We do tastings and we have cocktails, and you can come down and enjoy. When we get back to a little bit more normal, we'll reintroduce our tours. And I'd love to show you how our process works. I'd love to show you our still, and we can tap into some barrels back here in the back. So come check us out. Otherwise, you can find a lot of our products at your local liquor stores all around this area, all around the west side of Michigan. Meyer, Family Fair, D&W. Just check your local shelves. Give us a taste. We've got a couple different whiskeys out. We have 2 different styles of gin, if that's more your style. We have a coffee liqueur made with a locally roasted coffee. And later this year, we'll be coming back out with our 4-year-old rye, 4-year-old bourbon. We've got an apple liqueur coming out, and some single barrel proof bourbon. So we've got a fun lineup coming down here the home stretch, and yeah, that's enough plugs for one day. Enjoy your night. Thanks again. See you next time.